is the second part of the ocean conservation campaign, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the controversial topic of marine mammals in captivity. Firstly, I do want to start with the benefits of these facilities, as even though there are so many campaigns out there which petition for the shutdown of these parks, there are definitely some benefits, and it is up to you guys whether you agree with them or not. The main advantage of marine parks is the role that they play in education, as they allow people of all ages to come up close and personal with some of their favourite and most amazing animals in the world. At every exhibit you will find various notice signs and public talks discussing the animals' habitats, diets, threats, and most importantly what we can do in order to protect them. Another main benefit of marine parks is the support they provide in terms of conservation through captive breeding programs and research. These programs ensure their wild counterparts can live and thrive in their natural environments for generations to come. Finally, in general, animals are cared for to a high standard, monitored by accreditation bodies to ensure all animals get the same standard of care. There are, however, exceptions to this in which we will discuss right now. So yeah, in general, animals are cared for to the best capacity by their keepers and their trainers. However, some animals do develop serious health conditions in captive environments. No matter how big or realistic an enclosure may be, unfortunately, it will never be able to imitate the wild. In the wild, dolphins can swim up to 100 miles a day, foraging for food, socializing, and exercising. Captivity cannot offer that kind of range and mental stimulation, often contributing to boredom, stress, and depression. 100% of male orcas in captivity have developed limp dorsal fins, compared to less than 1% in wild male orcas. The reasons for this are unknown, but theories have been put forward stating things like lack of space, stress, and also time spent at the surface can contribute to this. Captivity can also dramatically reduce the lifespan of some animals. For example, killer whales in the wild can live up to 100 years. However, the average age for captive killer whales is less than 30 years old. I mentioned that education is paramount within the modern day zoo and aquarium. However, a lot of people would argue that education is second place to entertainment. Often the tricks displayed in the shows are not natural behaviours witnessed in the wild, therefore no knowledge is gained in this instance. What they are teaching the public, however, is that it's acceptable to keep these amazing animals in captivity away from their family and natural environment for the entertainment purpose. There are so many ways that people can learn about marine mammals without the need of confining them to cages for the rest of their life in the name of education and entertainment. I wanted to use the second half of this video to highlight a story that I've been following for years now, and that is the story of Lolita, the world's oldest and loneliest killer whale. On August 8, 1970, a pod of killer whales was rounded up into Pen Cove using boats and explosives, and 6 young were tragically ripped away from their mothers. At just 4 years of age, Lolita was sold onto the entertainment industry and placed in a tank in Miami Seaquarium. 51 years later, Lolita still resides at Miami Seaquarium, where she performs tricks in her shows multiple times a day and has done ever since her arrival. Lolita has only ever had one companion in her time at Miami Seaquarium, and that was Hugo, who unfortunately died in 1980. This left Lolita trapped alone for the past 40 years and forced to accept bottlenose dolphins as a replacement for her own species. In a typical day in the wild, orcas will sleep, hunt, socialize, and travel miles upon miles. However, in captivity and when not performing, Lolita only has 2 options: to float aimlessly at the surface or continuously circle her tank, which is only 35 foot wide, making it the smallest orca tank in North America. This is extremely small when you consider that Lolita is 21 foot long. The Animal Welfare Act states that an orca the size of Lolita requires an enclosure which is 48 feet wide in each direction, making Lolita's tank 13 feet smaller than what is required, which is a clear violation of the act. The tank also offers no protection from direct sunlight or weather, which is a clear further violation of the Animal Welfare Act. There has been many projects and petitions in the past campaigning for the release of Lolita. The most recent and promising is the Whale Sanctuary project in Nova Scotia, Canada, which is a beautiful seaside sanctuary to retire both whales and dolphins from their captive lives. Lolita is a promising candidate, and the sanctuary would provide her with an opportunity to swim much further than she has in the past 50 years, retire her from her shows and her concrete tank for good. So if you would like to help in ensuring that Lolita does return home, I highly recommend that you follow both the Whale Sanctuary project and the Dolphin project, which are doing some amazing work in this space. I also encourage you to keep this conversation going with the people around you and on social media. I do strongly believe that the world is changing, and in the case of Lolita, change is long overdue. I'm sure that many would agree that Lolita, along with other captive killer whales, has been socially neglected, kept in cramped conditions and forced to perform for way too long now. As always, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this topic, as it is super controversial like I did mention. And of course, if you do sign any petitions for the campaign and release of Lolita, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. So guys, that is the end of today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.